You get a little cold last night?
A little cold. Like early.
We've got multiple ways of making coffee. Just thought it'd be cool to have the camping coffee maker. But we ain't missing out on coffee this day. They're cool, they're just like little tea bags basically. You just throw them in water, let them seep for like 3 minutes, and then you got coffee. All right, we're gonna walk on up to this Elkmont resort, whatever it was, the rundown place we showed y'all yesterday. See what it's all about. It's a little brisk, still a little cold.
Morning.
We looked at the truck. Truck said it was 60, and it had already warmed up a little bit. So I would say upper 50s for sure. It felt good.
Yeah.
It's a little chilly. We didn't expect. That's all. Didn't bring proper blankets or anything. And it's hilarious because we probably have 8 sleeping bags in the camping gear. We have plenty of stuff, but we just,
Well, we figured
it was
after
could be
last
hot,
weekend.
right?
Last weekend it was like nice, where like a light blanket worked perfect. So we were like,
We were almost scared last weekend. We needed the fan and just we had too much blanket, and now this time we didn't have enough. And like Bab said, good point. It's probably because of the water. Like being right on the water, it's much cooler on this side of the
river.
The mountains. So
It's all right.
I don't know. It's already.
I guess it's better to be cold than too hot.
Yeah, I'd rather be cold. I think too hot. I mean, you could be there naked, and you ain't gonna cool off. Okay, so they called this little thing Daisy Town. And it says city people would come up here by rail, try to get away from the pollution and all the sweltering heat of the city. Sounds kind of familiar. Here we are 100 years later, right? They're redoing a lot of these places. I'd say there's probably more than half of them are remodeled, painted. You can go inside. We'll go inside some of these and check them out. But it's funny. They said when this was the logging era, there were only a couple trees left standing around here. It was very barren. And now to see this whole like canopy and stuff is pretty awesome. These are cool. Man, just coming out here and sitting on this deck.
Kind of reminds me of like something from Yosemite.
Yeah, definitely. So I don't know. Babs and I were talking. Like, I don't know if they're working on renovating these, and they're gonna rent these things out. Like, maybe make this a little place to stay again. Yeah, it's like a little duplex. They share. You could share it. Kitchen.
There's so in here at one point.
That's a one. This is cool.
Kind of like that one from.
Some of these are good size. Oh, right here.
Oh, that's so cool.
They even mark the dogs or something. You look at, what does that say? 1980? 1969 chef. So we're talking to one of the guys out there that's working on restoring it. So it started as Daisy Town. It was the logging. Townsend ended up selling off all the lots and the properties, and that's when it became this resort village. That Jake's Trail we went up yesterday and stuff. They called it like Millionaire Row or Millionaire Alley. That's where all those chimneys are of plots of land they had sold off. And then they ended up putting in the clubhouse down here, and really what they're trying to do now is just preserve all of this. They're not gonna, it's not gonna be future lodging or anything, but try to keep it as is, which is really cool because like he pointed this out to us as door jam. Like it's all where people have marked the heights of their kids and then their dogs as well. Kind of cool just to see stuff like frozen in time, right? Like
It's so awesome. And I like how they're trying to keep them nice for people to come and visit.
To come see and like see the history, like see how it started and why it got here. All right, so it talks exactly what that guy was just talking about. In 1910, 50 acres were deeded to a group of civic and business leaders from Knoxville that wanted to start a sportsman club. There, right? The clubhouse doubled as a hotel for members and their guests, serving as a social hub that tied Daisy Town here, Millionaires Row, and Society Hill, which were those trails that we hiked yesterday. And the former residents referred to the entire area as Clubtown. So the original clubhouse burned down in 1925. This was the replacement they built. That's the original clubhouse, that big old thing. But they used to have a railroad that would go from Knoxville down to Maryville. That was the Knoxville and Augusta Railroad. Then from Maryville, it would come to Elkmont along the Little River Railroad. And it would take you 3 hours to get from Knoxville to this clubhouse. It's wild.
That's so crazy.
So I wonder if you can go and then to Townsend and see where this railroad ran through. I bet you can. There's got to be something down there.
There has to be still.
How crazy. There used to be a train. Like, why don't we have the train anymore? Why isn't it there?
That would be so cool if they had the train and they would run the line.
Like, how cool you could run the line like and take the same thing. Like, why don't we have this anymore?
Yeah, it looks pretty nice in there. Let's do that. And the ones that you can see.
What a cool spot to have a wedding. Like, if you could have a wedding here, oh, it'd be so awesome. So it's wild. So if you look at that picture, that's 1912 when it was logging, right? So it says, in 1912, the Wonderland Park Club opened a hotel a half mile north of here, and members of both clubs built vacation cabins near the clubhouses. So that's that whole area we saw. For a time, Little River Lumber Company was not only logging the area, complete with logging camps in Company Town, but provided daily railroad excursions to Elkmont for club members and guests. So then it goes on to say in the 1920s, it was a time of transition for Elkmont as the lumbering era closed and the resort era boomed. In 1934, the Great Smoky Mountains National Park was established. Many families retained their cabins under lifetime leases, the last of which expired in 2001. So your family had a lease on a cabin up here, and it expired just in 2001.
So 20 years ago.
That's crazy.
Is when the last lease expired.
With input from public and in cooperation with local, federal, and historic preservation agencies, the park developed a plan to restore the 19 historic structures. Implementation of this plan began in 2009 and preserves the integrity of Elkmont Historic District while protecting the rare forest and pristine waters of the Little River. That is so cool. So that's what they're doing right now. They're preserving all those original leases.
Could you imagine when that lease ended, like you still had a lease in like the 90s and it expired in 2001 and you still could come up here and stay?
Oh,
it's so awesome to stay in it.
Dreams. Oh, so cool. What I cannot get over though is that this used to be a logging area and that there were only like 3 trees lining that road right there.
That's crazy to think how many trees are there now.
And seeing all this growth now and what's come back and just it makes you happy, right? It makes you happy to see it all. This is so cool. Such a cool area. All right, well, another fun adventure in the Smokies. You have fun with this one? This is cool.
This one was really nice.
This might be my favorite. We might be coming back up here, I think.
Definitely come back up here. But maybe with some warmer blankets.
Maybe with a sleeping bag. That
and
might
maybe
work.
some pants for the morning.
Elkmont Campground.
What's that little tree?
Come check this place out. This is very cool. This is a really cool spot. Lots of people with pets too. This would be a fun one to bring Macy back to when we're not gonna hike, because you do have to watch your pets. You can't just leave them. But yeah, come check out Elkmont. This is a lot of fun.